What's going on, everybody? GMD Geek back with another hopefully quick tutorial on how to use StreamElements OBS Live and your streaming platform. I covered this the other night on my stream. I got asked a lot of questions on this, and I even helped another friend the other day with some of his configurations on it, and they're all like, "Go ahead and make a video." Now, I'm by no means an expert. I've been doing computers for a very long time and specializing in cybersecurity, but I do like to read and I do like to learn and I do like to fiddle around with this. And after about 3 months of streaming and learning some do's and some don'ts, I think I've kind of got the basics down on this. Now, I do stream from Twitch. I was using Mixer for the first couple of months. Didn't have a lot of success with trying to get some of my functionality out of the overlay alerting. When I switched to Twitch, that seemed to have corrected that. So if you're having issues getting the overlays to work inside a Mixer, you need to make sure that when you go to StreamElements.com, I'll have the link in the description below, and you log in with Mixer, that you're using Mixer-specific overlays. There's not as many as there are for Twitch. Keep that in mind. Make sure you're using the ones that were designed to work with Mixer so that their alerts will mostly work. I'm going to use quotes on that. Anyways, let's go to StreamElements.com. You're going to sign in. You can do Twitch, Mixer, YouTube, I think even Twitter maybe. I signed in with Twitch using two-factor authentication. A little more security-minded on that one. Always got to be secure. Anyways, once you're here and you get signed in, the first thing you're going to want to do is go get your OBS. Now, there's 3 different versions floating around there. You have OBS Studio, you have Streamlabs, and then you have StreamElements. Most everyone I know has made the migration or transition to StreamElements OBS Live because of its ease of use. It's not necessarily any lighter on resources than the other two. It's just more ease of use and mobility. So you'll come to OBS Live, you'll click on it. I'm just going to open a new tab, and then you will download the software. I'm not going to walk you through the download and the install. You just download it, run the executable, get it installed. And then once it's installed, I highly recommend running it as an admin. What that means is coming in, right-clicking on the executable, and running as an admin. I do not log into my box as an administrator. I log in as a general user with limited access or limited privileges, as we call it. And then if I want to run anything as an admin to elevate its access, then I will use my run as command, choose run as administrator, put in my credentials, put in my key fob information, and then run that. What that does is prevents bad actors, or if I click on a malicious email or click on a malicious ad or something, that helps prevent that bad actor or threat actor from having more access to my box than it really needs, and maybe prevent me from having a complete system wipe or anything like that. This is a security practice. The other reason that you want to run as an admin is it tells the software, the OBS Live software, that you need priority, that it needs its priority to do its job. Otherwise, if you're doing the stream and the gaming from the same platform, or you have other things running, many times those other applications are going to take priority and take some of the resources away from OBS. This can cause some quality of life issues, some tearing, some artifacts, digital robotic kind of audio metallic sounds sometimes. So if you're struggling with some of those and you're not running as an admin, I highly recommend running OBS as an admin. Now, once you have it downloaded, we're going to talk about a couple quick things real quick. I'm going to drag my OBS over here. I apologize for the busy screen. I am going to turn off my webcam. I do not want it present during this part of it because it can get a little confusing. But what you're going to want to do is you do want to come to your file and your settings. Now, when you first get this installed, it's going to walk you through a wizard. That wizard will ask you which streaming platform do you want to use? Twitch, Mixer, YouTube. Pick the one that you want. Then it's going to evaluate your hardware and your internet connectivity and all these other things, all those other resources, and give you a general idea or a best guess as to what the configurations for your system will be to give you the best streaming quality. So what you're going to do to see what those are, you come into settings, file and settings, and then You can see stream. This is where I choose. You can choose whatever platform you're going to stream from, whether it be YouTube, Twitch, Mixer, whatever, Facebook Live. Never used Twitter, Periscope. I guess you could if you want. I use Twitch. The output is where the configurations from the wizard will be found. I can't change these as I'm recording right now, but here's some of the basics. I do use the NVENC H264 NVIDIA encoder. This is because I have an NVIDIA RTX card, and I'm able to use that particular encoder. And what that does is that takes some of the lift, some of the responsibilities and the duty and everything and resources off of the processor and puts them back on my GPU. I have a very beefy, the RTX cards are fantastic, and it helps lighten that burden of the processor load, balances it out. If you don't have an RTX, it's fine. You can use a recommended, I think it's an X264 encoder. You're not going to have any problems. The only reason that NVIDIA has it, I really truly use that, is it helps, it has a few other perks to it, but it helps to balance resource allocation. Take some of the stuff off of my processor and put it onto my GPU. I also run, my rescale output is 1920 by 1080. That means I stream at 1080p. I game at 1440. Both of my gaming monitors are 1440 monitors. However, I stream at 1080. Most of the playback stuff, everyone's on a phone or a tablet, YouTube, everything. And even YouTube scaling, auto scaling and all that, and throttling right now with everything going on, 1080 is just fine. I use a rate control, a CBR. You can mess around with the different various ones out there. CBR works best for me. I did have, when I went through the wizard with the new system, it recommended somewhere between 5400 and 5500. I did some tweaking, 100 kbps at a time, till I settled on 6000. That worked really, really well for me. I enjoy it. I haven't had a lot of artifact problems or any issues with that. That being said, if you're having problems, don't just go from, like, say, if it recommends 2400 kbs because of your setup and the bandwidth and everything else, don't try and go think that you have to do what all these other streamers are doing or I'm doing and say, well, he's using 6000. 6000 for me works based on all the stuff I've talked about, hardware, resources, internet, all this other stuff. That might not work well from you because you also have to take into consideration not only your physical location, but what connection point it's going to take you to. What server out in the web is it going to connect you to, whether it be YouTube, Twitch, or any of one of their servers in their cloud are they going to put you to? So there's a lot of contributing factors. Start with the base that it gives you and then modify and gradually change from there. Keep a little journal noted up, whatever you want to. I also found that for a preset, setting it quality and profile to high was what worked really, really well for me. There was some, I think the defaults are different. I can't remember. But I watched a couple other streamers because I was struggling with it, seeing what they were doing. And I just, it's a lot of trial, a lot of different things. But preset to quality and then profile to high seemed to work really, really well. And then the other thing I would talk about is a video. If you click on the video, this is where you're going to set your canvas inside OBS. And this is where you're going to set it for what you're going to stream at. My canvas is 1920 by 1080. And my output is 1080p. All right, this is going to come into play on StreamElements. I'm going to show you where everything on StreamElements is right now defaults to 1080p. So you want your canvas inside of OBS to match that. Otherwise, you'll have to go to StreamElements and set it to a different canvas size, which is not impossible. It's very possible. I'm going to show you how to do it here in a second. But so once you have those, you are now set up inside of StreamElements or OBS Live. What we do need to do, though, I'm going to delete this. As this from the other night when I was streaming. We do need to set up a new scene. All right. Scenes are where you control all your different overlays. So right now this is a base desktop, no overlays or anything. It's just my desktop, my gaming display desktop, and if I want my camera. I'm gonna turn the camera back off. This is my game chat. So if I want to record VODs where people can see what game I'm playing, as well as the chat so they understand what I'm responding to or reacting to inside the chat, it's there. This is my gaming screen, my little webcam over here, who's following, subscribers, other information along the bottom, and then the gameplay will be right here where, whatever it might be. Tonight I'm streaming Trials of Mana. And there's the Be Right Back. I have one that I'm modifying. This is Be Right Back. My kids are fighting. I must go parent. But what we want to do is we want to go to scenes and we want to create a new scene. We're going to call it test scene. All right. You can name it whatever you want. Chances are this will probably be your first scene. And this is still blank. And I'm talking, but there's no screen. We need to add, I'm going to go back to here so you can see what I'm doing. Otherwise, you won't be able to see it. What we need to do is we need to go to sources under the test here that we've created, this test scene. And we need to add what's called a display capture port to that. You can add the game if you want. I choose to do the display port. It's just me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do display, and I already have an existing monitor, or you can create one and then pick your monitor. I'm just going to go with an existing gaming monitor. So bear with me 1 second. You're going to have a black screen while I go back to test scene, go to sources, click on add, and go to display capture. I'm going to add existing and highlight my gaming monitor, then click OK. Okay, now you see what's on my screen. However, it's not the full desktop. All right. Just because it's there doesn't mean it's ready to go. You can see this red outline, right? You only see two sides of that rectangle. What you need to do is you need to drag, left click, and drag and resize it until you can fit it inside your canvas. Remember, I chose 1920 by 1080. So now I need to make sure my monitor, which is at 1440 resolution, I resize it by manually coming in here and resizing it, is now set to 1080p for my canvas. Once we have this set up, what I'll need to do is I do need to add my video capture device, aka my webcam. I'm going to go into video capture device. I'm going to add my existing Sony. This is where you would add yours. You can pick it, and then you'll have a drop-down list, whether it be Logitech, Sony, any Magic, Elgato, Mini-Link, whatever. This is where you'll set it up. And now by default, it's going to take up as much screen as you can possibly get. I'm going to minimize this a little bit because I don't want it getting in the way. Okay, so now we have a new display. We have a new scene called test. We have the game monitor and we have the webcam. Now we need to get an overlay. All right, so now we're going to go back to StreamElements.com. And now that you've logged in, whatever platform you're streaming to, again, make sure that you choose the right one so that the overlays you get will be appropriate for your streaming platform. I, again, am logged in with Twitch credentials and to ensure that I get Twitch themes, alerts, and notifications for my overlays. You'll click on my dashboard, okay? Again, you can verify which platform you're in by going to the top left here, and you can see channel GMD Geek, and it shows the Twitch icon. Now what you're going to do is you're going to go on the left-hand side, you're going to go down to alerts and overlays. As you can see here, if you go to themes galleries, they have super themes, alerts, and widgets. I'm not going to go into the alerts and widgets and all the little ones. We're just going to go with the main themes. These are usually typical bundles that have a gaming screen, a just chatting screen, a starting screen, an ending screen, and a be right back screen. And that's typically what are in those. Some of them have more, some of them might have one or two less. This is what I'm going with. Okay. Scroll through them, find one that fits with what you're after. Find one that meets your personality, whether it be busy or not. It's really up to you. So like yesterday, on Wednesday or Monday, and I lost track of the days. On Monday when I was streaming, I helped one of the streamers. We walked through all this stuff. We chose the Pine Lin, and because it wasn't super busy, but what they liked about it was the notifications. When somebody was clicking follow or followed to them, or subscribed to them, or gave a cheer, or any of that stuff, all those just went right above their webcam and gave that alert, okay? It was pretty kind of simple, pretty kind of cool. They liked that, but the whole picture itself was not super busy. So as you can see here, you've got just chatting, just talk scene. It's got the game, so people can still see it and not get bored. But then you can see the chat. This is really good if you're going to do VODs and little outtake videos up to like YouTube or something, so people can see what you're talking about and responding to, because many streamers just read the chat, respond while they're playing, and interact with their viewers, which is great. Always give that back to them. To me, that's what I enjoy most about streaming, is interaction with the viewers. Anyways, you got a starting soon, you got to be right back, and you've got a stream ending. Let's going to go back on this one. Once you find a theme deck that you like, click on create my overlay. I've already done this one, this particular one, so I'm not going to click on create. I am going to close it, and I'm going to go over to my overlays. And as you can see right here, I have multiple that I use and I've tested with. This is the one I'm going to go with. Yellow Clean Fresh Test is what I named it, just because it said yellow in it. But this is the gaming overlay. If you can set this one up, you can set them all up. I'm going to talk about real quick. Using these three dots here, you can click on Properties, and this is where you can change your default canvas size. Remember in OBS, I set mine to 1080p. This is where you're going to match up your overlay to meet your canvas size in OBS. OBS or StreamElements defaults its overlays to 1080p right now, and unless they change that, that's I think what they're going to do for the future forward. So make sure that when you set it up, I believe also StreamElements defaults to 1080. Just go make sure that you both locations match up, and then you can click OK or submit. Not making any changes. But what I do now is I need to go edit this, because inside of this, I need to make sure that I either want to do some tuning or whatever. I'm not going to go into the nitty gritty mechanics of everything, but you can see that all the alerts and notifications are already set up here and all ready to go. Latest followers, subscriber, tips if you want that on your page. Your social media is here so people can find you outside of your stream. Really important. But it's by default, it'll say YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff. And they've got the images and everything. And you can see here, if you don't click on anything, you're not going to have any settings options on the left. So if I click here, all of a sudden you can see I have a settings because I've clicked on the YouTube. I'm going to click on that. That's my kids screaming outside the door. I'm sorry. You click on settings and then you go rename it. Do the same thing for Facebook. Do the same thing for Twitter, and the same thing for Instagram. After the @ sign or after the /. Once you've made these changes, come over here, click on save, and then you need this URL right here. Click the URL. That's going to copy it to your clipboard. Now we can minimize this. We can bring back OBS, and then we can, from the test scene, we can go click on under sources. Make sure you're in scenes, test, whatever scene that you're working on. Then go to the sources, and you're going to add a browser. Okay, this is what I love about StreamElements, because how mobile it is. I can do this on any of my computers, and I'm going to go out using a URL that I just got from them. Test one. Just got from them, and paste it right here in as the URL browser. All right. Now remember, I need to change my width and my height to match my resolution on my canvas. 1920 by 1080. All right. If you're good with CSS, feel free to go put some stuff in here and customize. We're keeping this basic. We're not getting super advanced. Once you've got your URL copied in and your height and width and height adjusted to meet the canvas size, all you got to do is click OK. And now all of a sudden, your overlays are there. What we do need to do is, you can see I have a webcam, but I've got mine turned off right now, is I need to put my webcam in here so that it meets the overlay. Turn it back on. Oops, I don't want to drag that there. I want the webcam, so I'm going to click on that so it's highlighted. I'm going to drag this over. I'm going to bring it in. Now, what I want is, if we see what happens if I put the camera on top, the camera's always going to be hidden by the crop. So I want my test overlay to be underneath of my camera. So whatever size I go with my camera, hold on, let me go back to the camera. My overlay should hopefully override it, but it's showing the desktop, so that doesn't work with this one. Let me get this back. And you're going to have to mess around with it to get it to fit so you don't have any empty spaces. Then once that's done, you can see right here. Okay, yeah, you want the camera underneath the test overlay. You want the overlay to be on top of it so it hides any of the excess borders. And all of a sudden you're ready to go. You got your alerts, your followers, your subs, tips if you want those, your social media, and then when someone follows or subscribes or cheers, makes a donation, whatever, it's going to show up right above your head. And that's it. Then you're ready to go. And all you have to do is click on start streaming, and you're streaming on Twitch or Mixer or YouTube or whatever you want. It's very simple. It's very dumbed down, but essentially that's what it is to be able to do quickly and easily. You'll have to start playing with things as you get more in tune with it, and you start messing around with each one of the overlays. It'll get easier. So like edit in here, You can come in, change your social media stuff right here. You click on it and you go to settings and you can change it. So here, GMD Geek, make it match, and then you can do things and save it. And all you're going to do is just copy URL, and then you come back to your stream element or to your OBS live, and you add another scene. And this one would be the test be right back scene. And then you do the same thing you just did here, and except for this browser, you bring in the be right back screen. All right. If you still have questions, you need some help, hit me up in the comments below, or head over to the GMD Geek Gamer Discord. We'll be happy to talk to you about it and help however we can. Or heck, follow me on my stream. I stream Mondays and Wednesdays. I like to game and interact with my viewers, and we talk about everything from setting up OBS to microphones to lights to cybersecurity, how it impacts things. Tonight we're going to be talking about some of the influences of security in the gaming and vice versa. But I do that on Mondays and Wednesdays, and then you can always hit me up on Twitter. Anyways, I hope everyone is having a great day. I do appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. It means a lot to me. Again, as always, if you have questions, please hit me up. Let me know. Comments, Discord, Twitter, whatever. I'd be happy to help however I can. With that being said, I hope everyone has a great day. I hope your families and friends are safe and doing well in this challenging time. And until the next time, I'll talk to y'all later.